So we'd say he actually followed his heart by picking Algeria over France. But this next guy actually held out for France and then later turned around and decided he'd never play for them again. His name is Aymeric Laporte. He was born in France, so naturally his instinct was to play for Les Bleus. He started out in the youth system, playing and even captaining at the under 17, 18, 19 and 21 levels. It was just a matter of time before he began to play for the senior level. But in 2015, he started flirting with the idea of playing for Spain, a country he had lived in since he was 16. Then in 2016, he actively started the process of making himself eligible for the Spain national team. Upon seeing this, Didier Deschamps immediately gave Laporte a call-up for the 2018 World Cup qualifying games in 2016, but he didn't come off the bench for any of the matches. In 2019, Deschamps called him up again for the Euro qualifiers, but this time it was injury that ruled him out. But by 2021, when the Euros were coming up, Laporte had had a complete change of heart. He got his Spanish citizenship, got FIFA to approve the change of nationality, and went to the Euros with Spain. Another person with a fairly interesting story is Aubameyang. He was eligible to play for Italy, France, Spain, and Gabon. He was invited to play in Italy's youth system, but he rejected them and went with France instead. He played his first ever game.
This race is unlike anything else we've ever done.
There's no holding back.
We need to survive this.
Good morning.
Here's your package.
Thanks.
Seems like you get lots of deliveries recently.
Yeah, because Temu has tons of deals, like this 90% off promotion for new app users. These wireless Lenovo earbuds are only 89 cents.
What? How's the quality?
Really good, actually. I love the sleek design and the convenient charging case. They have high-fidelity sound and noise reduction for optimized audio clarity. They're waterproof and sweatproof, so I can wear them while exercising. And they're comfortable.
That's a crazy deal. How do I get in on
Click
it?
on the video now to download the Temu app. All categories have items for 90% off and free shipping. What are you waiting for? Download it now.
Game for France's under-21 side in February 2009 when he was 20. We all thought that was it then, but just a month later, Aubameyang did a complete 180 and made himself available for the Gabon national team, was selected for them, and then went ahead to make his debut with the senior team. Ladies and gentlemen, that was exactly how Aubameyang dumped France for Gabon. Many credited his sudden change of heart to his dad, who also played for and even captained the Gabon national team. A similar story is that of Kalidou Koulibaly. He was born in France to Senegalese parents and he played for the France under-20 team. But in 2015, at the age of 24, he pledged his allegiance to Senegal and was immediately called up. It must be said that he made this decision in spite of the fact that Deschamps had made it known that he was keen on calling up the defender to the France national team. Koulibaly said he doesn't regret his decision because all he was concerned about was writing the story of the future of Senegalese football. And well, by captaining the side to their first ever AFCON title, you could say he's doing just that. Now, Koulibaly's teammate at both club and international level, Edouard Mendy, is another guy who turned down France. He was eligible to play for France, Guinea-Bissau and Senegal, and it was Guinea-Bissau who actually got him first. His dad, who was Bissau-Guinean, was sick to the point of death, so Mendy decided to honour him by playing some friendly games for the Guinea-Bissau national team at the time. When it came to the actual competitive matches, Mendy decided to reject both his country of birth and his father's country and pledged his allegiance to his mother's country, Senegal. Now, it's one thing to decide not to play for France, but to say you regret ever being associated with the team is a different level. But that's what Houssem Aouar said. He was born in France and played in the France under-17s and under-21s. In 2019, he was called up to the senior team, but an injury stopped him from making an appearance. He was called up again in August 2020, but that had to be dropped because he contracted COVID-19. In October 2020, he finally made his debut for France, but it was only a friendly game. Now, fast forward to March 2023. Aouar just recently switched his allegiance to his parents' country of Algeria. He said in an interview that he met with the president of the Algerian Football Federation, and once they shook hands, he just knew it was meant to be. But more sensationally, he said that he regretted ever playing for France. He felt he didn't make the best decision with that one. Oh, wow. Now, Nicolas Pepe is one guy who doesn't have any such regrets because despite being born in France, he never played for Les Bleus. He never even played for any of the youth teams. His mind had always been on the Ivory Coast, and he earned his first call-up when he was just 21, and he has not looked back since then. And you know, the footballing gods have a really good sense of humor, because Pepe ended up playing his first ever game for the Ivory Coast national team against France. Now, remember we told you that some of the entries on the list would shock you? How about these two for shockers? First, Rafael Guerreiro. Yes, not many know that the Portuguese defender was actually born in France. He started his career there and played in the country until 2016, when he earned his move to Borussia Dortmund. But in spite of his deep connections with France, Guerreiro never even considered playing for the country. He had his eyes on his father's country of Portugal the whole time. And hear this, he didn't even know how to speak Portuguese at the time, but he decided it was Portugal or nothing. Anyway, he eventually got his first call-up in November 2014, and that same month he scored the only goal in a friendly game against Argentina. It was just a friendly, but that's a goal he'll never forget. But if you think that one is shocking, check this one out. Gonzalo Higuain. Yes, the Argentinian legend was actually born in France. Back when he was a young striker, he was one of the hottest properties in the land, so both Argentina and France wanted him desperately. But you won't believe this, the guy actually rejected both of them initially because he wasn't yet sure who to go for. But they didn't leave him alone, they kept coming back. Imagine rejecting 2 World Cup winning countries and they still keep coming back for more. Higuain was that guy. Anyway, he held out for a bit, and he eventually chose Argentina over France, joining Messi and the rest to go to the Olympics in 2008 and then the World Cup under Maradona in 2010. With that, he became just the 3rd player not born in Argentina to represent the Argentina national team at the World Cup. Anyway, are there more players you know who chose not to play for France for whatever reason? Drop their names in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
If you want money, I'll give you money. If you want equipment, I'll buy it for you. Why are you not satisfied?
You don't understand this at all. You don't need any money to play this game. Just use this gift code at the beginning of the game. Enter the gift code VIP888, and you'll receive countless resources and a high-rank pet gacha. You'll also get 1,000 free draws from the pet gacha and 200 free lucky boxes. You're guaranteed countless gold coins and high-level armor. You'll also have the chance to get a rare pet, the Sky Demon Dragon. It's okay if you don't want to grind or load money. The 24-hour idle rewards will help you. You'll level up super fast and get lots of armor. What are you waiting for? Come play now.
Avatar Saga. Download now.
A lot of signings have been made within the last year, and there are quite a number of players whom we expected to do great at their new clubs, but they ended up disappointing heavily. Here are 10 footballers who have flopped this season. And the poster boy for flopped footballers in the Premier League this season would have to be Richarlison. This guy was bought for 58 million euros and he's still yet to score in the Premier League after featuring in 19 games. In fact, in 27 appearances in all competitions, he has managed just 2 goals, and both of those goals came in the same game. Now, if this isn't the definition of a flop, what is? And it's funny because Richarlison went to the World Cup and did that madness for Brazil, but he came back and still could not replicate that form for Spurs. Speaking of Brazil, they really do not make them like they used to, do they? Because, I mean, why do we have 2 Brazilian footballers on a list of flopped players? Antony is another one. Some might argue that he has been decent because he has had a few flashy moments here and there, but when you buy a goal-scoring winger for 95 million euros, surely you're expecting far more than just 3 goal contributions in 14 Premier League games. Oh, and these 3 goals came in his first 3 games in the league, by the way. So he has gone 11 games and counting without scoring a Premier League goal. He and Richarlison might be fighting for the #1 spot at this rate. Also, Anthony is supposed to be a dribbler, but he seems to almost always struggle to beat his man, and if you ask us, that is a little embarrassing. Another attacker who's not been doing so great is Lukaku. Don't let his little goal haul at the international break fool you. This guy has been a flop since he rejoined Chelsea, and his loan move back to Inter has not helped at all. We're talking about a centre-forward who has scored just 5 goals so far, and we're already in the second half of the season, and injuries have not helped him either. Already, Inter have said they have no plans of retaining him after his loan deal expires in the summer, so it's almost certain that he'll be returning to Chelsea. As if Chelsea don't have a lot on their hands already. They brought a truckload of players in the last 2 windows, so unsurprisingly, they've got a truckload of flops in their team. Cucurella, for example, his first, say, 5 games were decent, and then it just started going downhill from there. He was supposed to be an attacking fullback, but he just suddenly became bad going forward and also bad staying back. You guys remember when he stood completely still and seemingly unconcerned while Arsenal went ahead to score the only goal of the London derby? Comical. Blues are so happy Chilwell came back because just a few games in, it was clear that Cucurella was a flop. And it seems like Chelsea didn't have so much luck with their defensive recruitment because even Kalidou Koulibaly flopped. He was the one guy everyone was sure would be solid, but he's been far from that. He got so bad that Potter started to play a younger and more inexperienced Badiashile over him. He has been a little bit of a disaster in that Chelsea defence, and a good example is how he was so easily overridden by a rookie in that game against Everton, and that led to the late equaliser. Just one example out of many. Yet another Chelsea player who has flopped is Aubameyang, but his case is different from the others because it's totally not on him. It's completely on the coach. After Lewandowski joined Barcelona, Tuchel, who Oba had worked with before, managed to convince the Gabonese striker to join Chelsea. But unfortunately for the former Gunners captain, Tuchel got sacked and his replacement Potter apparently doesn't fancy him at all. So now the 33-year-old just doesn't play. He was kicked out of the Champions League squad and he's always just on the bench in the Premier League these days. We know Aubameyang would have loved to leave in the January transfer window, but it was just too complicated. At this point, he is just counting the days until the summer transfer window opens because it's super obvious he's not in the boss's plans at all. Well, guess you can say that the Chelsea number 9 curse strikes again. Maybe not in the way we're used to, but damn, they all count, don't they? But let's allow Chelsea to breathe for a second and head over to Manchester City and check on Calvin Phillips. His case is very similar to that of Aubameyang, to be fair. The only difference is that the coach who wanted him is the same coach who isn't playing him. Despite being signed for €49 million, Calvin Phillips has played a total number of 56 Premier League minutes all season. But then, maybe this guy has something on Southgate because even though he almost never plays for City, the England boss never fails to call him up. Like, can someone explain just what's going on? Also, can someone explain what's going on at Juventus? It felt like as soon as Pogba put pen to paper on the Juventus deal, his muscles and ligaments just immediately started to dissolve. This guy has played a total of 35 minutes for Juventus due to all his injuries. That's not even a half of a football match. Someone with a similar story is Arthur Melo. His own is just a little funnier because he was brought in to help Liverpool with their injury problems in midfield, and then, just after he signed, he goes ahead and gets himself injured. Now, he has played only 13 minutes for the Liverpool first team and a few here and there for the second team. Without a doubt, Arthur will be returning to Juventus in the summer after what has been a horrible time in the Premier League. And now to the biggest flop of all, Dele Alli. When you go to Turkey as a 26-year-old and they still think you're trashed there, then you might have to start considering hanging up your boots ASAP. Ali finally left Spurs and moved to Everton in the January of 2022, and we all thought he would ball there, but he turned out to be crap. So crap that Everton loaned him out just months after they signed him. Besiktas took him in on loan with an option to buy, and it's safe to say right now that Besiktas will not be taking up that option. The coach complained that Ali has been largely inefficient, and the midfielder has now been banished from the squad. Right now, he's just waiting till summer for his loan deal to run out. He'll be returning to Everton, where he is also not wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, we dare you to name one player who has flopped harder than Dele Alli in world football in the past year. We'll be waiting in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.